Hello, everybody, and welcome right back again to another episode of The Forgotten City. I am again super stoked where we left off. We are just trying to get the last tablet from Dooley by getting Galerius elected. So that is today's task: is getting Galerius elected. Let's see what we can do. Sure, he's gonna stop. Yep.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who...
Um, I want him to take care of some
Sounds
things.
serious. I'm listening.
Yulia's dying by Lucretia. Rufius has been threatening Virgil. Need you to stop Fabia. Or Fabia. I guess I'll just go with all of them for now.
All right, I can do that.
Oh, okay, there. Now all of them showed up. I was a little confused. I was like, didn't we figure out the Malleolus piece as well?
All right, let me see. Stop Fabia.
We got that. And tell Malleolus his real name.
You're serious, aren't you? I doubt Domitius will let me talk to him, but I'll make sure he passes on the message.
That's it.
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
So, gonna have to go talk to Horatius, I think. One, about Scintilla, but two, I know that he's one of the guys who votes. So, I don't know if I can change his mind, but we'll see if we can get him to vote for Galerius.
Of a degenerate mind.
Fair enough.
What is it, citizen?
Can I see the citizen register? Do you think about what do you think about the golden rule? Who are you gonna vote for? Let's do this.
He's one of the better commanders I've ever had. That's for sure. Good stoic. Lives by Seneca's words. Treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Can't ask for much more than that.
Let's try and talk about Scintilla.
What business is that of yours?
Looking for her.
A lot of people have been looking for her.
Yeah, sounds like you don't want me looking for her. Let's do this one again.
I suppose that's true.
Did you notice anything suspicious?
Scintilla
We're gonna go with...
Then you might fare better.
Maybe, I mean, we're just gonna go through all the options. I really want to see...
You'd better have something to back it up.
Nah, dude, sorry.
Worth a try, I suppose.
Okay, guess we can't get any more out of him about Scintilla. Do you know a way out of
Asking
here?
the same questions when I first arrived. Never did find a way out. I learned how to accept my situation. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. That's from Seneca the Younger, if you're interested.
I wasn't, to be honest with you. It's a good quote, though. I'll be going.
Please keep an eye out for anything that might lead us to Scintilla.
Will do, Bubba Gump. Okay, so we can't get his vote. I think he's committed to Sentius. Dude, this place is so pretty. I tell you.
Ugh, this place has become a thoroughfare.
A thoroughfare. Let's try and talk to her and get some answers
I wish
again.
Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
Sorry. Let's go with the story.
I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But what are you doing in here? And why are you dressed like that?
Not from around here.
Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent, appropriate attire, and impressive mastery of our customs. Now, remind
Jeez,
me,
dude.
why are we having this conversation?
Do you know a way out of here?
Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out too. Is that it? Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone.
I'm sorry. I don't think it's... I'm gonna ask again.
Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
When did you last see her?
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together, and I remember she seemed happy. In love. We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone. That's it.
She was seeing someone. Sorry about that, excuse me. And I apologize if I'm a little bit more quiet towards the camera. One, my mouth is hurting a little bit from the reason I mentioned in episode 3, and then on top of that, I am just really intrigued with the story, and I'm trying to progress it as best I can and not repeat the dialogue that we've already heard. So I'm getting a little bit extra focused into the game, but not only that, I'm pretty sucked into what's going to happen next. So apologize if I don't talk for a second. She was seeing someone.
I think so, yes. But she was very careful about keeping his identity a secret, even from me.
Why is that?
Because our father had plans to marry her off, eventually, and even a rumor about her attachment to some mystery man might have ruined those plans.
Is it possible her lover was involved?
I don't know, but it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't come forward. That might speak to a guilty conscience. All I know is, whoever he is, he's still here in the city.
Alright. And I'm pretty sure it was
You'll help me
Ulpius.
find her.
I'll do it.
Oh, thank you. You should probably take a look through her room. It's the one just by the front door. Maybe you'll find something the rest of us missed.
Show the pendant to her. Interesting. I found this pendant in the cistern. Any idea whose it was? Found a letter in her room which mentioned her plan to escape. And then I also I do remember Horatius mentioning him getting her a pendant. And I was going to see if I could hand it to him or show it to him and him be like, oh my god. But it didn't work out like I thought it was going to. So let's show her the letter first.
What? Really? I swear, I searched her room top to bottom and never saw that. I wonder how I could have missed it. Strange, but well done, I suppose. But it's odd. It was only a few months ago that Scintilla's friend Yulia let slip she was planning an escape of her own. And yet, Yulia's still here. You should go and speak with her. Find out if she knows anything. She lives in the villa next door.
Interesting. Is Yulia healed now? That's my question. Ask Yulia about Scintilla's escape. Oh, I want to show her the pendant too.
What have you discovered?
Found this pendant in the cistern. Any idea whose it was? I know who she was seeing. It was Ulpius. I was right. And I was hoping to talk to you about something else. Nothing yet. I'll keep investigating. Let's start with this.
Oh no. That's Scintilla's. The question is, what was it doing in the cistern?
I found it around the neck of a skeleton.
A skeleton? Oh gods. You mean she's...
I don't know that she's dead yet. It could not have been Scintilla. I don't know. Something about it doesn't seem right to me.
What do you mean?
I'm just not sure how she could have been reduced to a skeleton after only 3 weeks. That was my thought. I'm probably just being paranoid. Never mind. Now the first one.
But didn't Domitius say there's some kind of creature down there that killed and ate Hannibal? Could it not have attacked her too?
My cat's running around. It definitely could have. Yeah, I suppose that would explain it. He did, which makes me wonder, what if that skeleton was Hannibal's? I'm probably just being paranoid. Never mind. I'm gonna go with this one. I think it's Hannibal's skeleton.
What are you saying? That somebody crept down there and put Scintilla's amulet on another body to make us think she was dead? Why would anyone do such a thing?
Deception. Perhaps they abducted her and want us to stop looking for her. I think she did it herself to make us all stop looking for her. I'm probably just being paranoid. Never mind. Perhaps they abducted her and want us to stop looking for her. I think she did it herself.
What? You don't know her at all. She would never do such a thing. And even if she did, where is she now?
I don't know, dude. I'm still looking.
So this is just baseless speculation then? I've heard enough. I won't have you peddling scurrilous gossip
Sorry,
about my
dude.
sister's tragic death. Kindly keep your insane conspiracy theories to yourself and leave me alone to grieve, you barbarian.
God. Okay. Really sorry about that, but at least we showed her the pendant and we got a little more information. Was this Scintilla's room? Oh, this is Centia's journal. Today my father suggested...
My room. Leave before I call Horatius.
Come on, man. Today my father suggested I write a diary as a way of keeping myself occupied. Oh, that's right, we read that. This has got to be Scintilla's room, yeah. She's got a little bit of money. Note. Scintilla to Sentius and Sentia, may Clementia give you the strength to forgive me. Okay, and I'll take that item again, I guess. Cosmetic jar. Okay, I think we should probably talk to Yulia.
All weapons are to be tossed into the chasm. Magistrate's orders.
No thanks.
That's quite an impressive bow you have there. Just like Diana's.
I hope you're coping.
Oh, I'm coping.
Citizen.
A golden bow, just like Apollo and Diana's.
Interesting. They said that Yulia was just in, or was in the villa neighboring, so she's got to be,
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
again, Domitius, because I'm cool. Okay. We unlocked that. Yulia. Yulia, hello. Whose is that? Oh, note from Ulpius. Ulpius to his lost love, may God watch over you. Please know that I held on as long as I could. Blah, 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 blah. We read that. Ooh. Oh, a note from Yulia. A suicide note, presumably directed at Malleolus. Yulia to her captor Malleolus and Claudia. Curse you to the depths. By the time you read this, I'll already be dead because death is preferable to another day and debt bondage to you. May vultures peck out your livers in Tartarus for all eternity. Okay. Well, Yulia is not here, unfortunately. Did you withdraw?
Leave me be.
Oh. It seems that he did. That's good. No Yulia in here. Where could she be? So, she was always...
Don't believe a word they tell you.
Maybe she's talking to
Isn't the great
Ulpius.
temple majestic?
That's the only other person that I can think of that she had any relation with. She's not over there. I wonder if Ulpius's life got saved too, because we haven't talked to him in depth while he's been alive. Or actually alive. We've tried to convince him to stay alive, but we haven't done a very good job, unfortunately. Nobody's up here, but he definitely didn't kill himself, because that would have been broken down there.
Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. Galerius just saved
Good.
my life. Was there something you wanted? Lucretia says I'm supposed to rest.
I know, Missy. Maybe let's not start with something so brutal. I don't want to waste any time, but what do you think about the golden rule?
Our priestess, Equitia, once told me it's the god's way of creating a city without sin. But if that's the case, then whichever god is responsible for it didn't think it through. I mean, all it really does is make bad people better at hiding their sins, and good people too frightened to stand up for themselves. I've seen Malleolus, Claudia, and Domitius make grown men cry. Romans. They don't cry easily. They've never physically hurt anyone. But the point is, they don't have to. They've got people running scared because everyone knows Malleolus is the favorite to win today's election.
can I help?
I doubt it. I mean, the election is today, and you've only just arrived. I just don't think there's enough time for you to do anything.
It's already been done. We'll see about
I
that.
suppose we will.
Okay, let's ask her.
No. I did hear from Ulpius that she disappeared. It's very sad. She was such a lovely young woman. But I'd been locked in Malleolus's villa for months before she went missing, so I can't help you, I'm afraid.
Fair enough. Dang, dude.
All right. Goodbye.
See you later. All right. We found him. We found him.
Shalom, friend.
Hello. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but I found Cynthia's amulet on a skeleton in the cistern. What's your story? Do you know a way out of here? What do you think about the golden rule? Who are you going to vote for? Oh, maybe his vote matters. Maybe he'll be the vote that ties it or something. Maybe there's a way that I can change my vote. I'm not sure. Can we... Let's ask his story.
You mean where am I from and all that? Judea, originally. But
Wow.
when I was a child, I moved to Rome with my family, Romanized my name, and spent most of my life in the Jewish district of Trans-Tiberin, across the Tiber from the main city. That's where I was when the fires broke out. Everyone was running toward the river, and I, listening to my inner contrarian, ran the other way. Every road leading out of Rome was in chaos, full of people with all their belongings in carts, and brigands preying on them. Several hours down the Appian Way, I saw another Jewish family being attacked by 3 opportunists. So I picked up a branch from the side of the road and went to defend them.
Oh no. Why'd the sound cut out?
Why would a
Oh, what
robber
the
knock
heck?
me unconscious and throw me in a river?
Let's try that one more time.
But not
Just
take
read
my
the
place?
subtitles. I'm sorry, guys. But I'm sure it was just a similar story. Okay, we got it. And let's tell him good on you for risking your life to help others.
A lot of good it did me. And that family. I sometimes wonder what happened to them.
Sorry to be the one to tell. I don't want to tell him that. Can we talk about Scintilla?
Scintilla and I were in love. And then, 22 days ago, she went missing.
Why don't you start from the beginning?
All right. One night a few months ago, when I was cleaning Malleolus's villa, I heard a young woman singing. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard. I wasn't allowed out, so once everyone else was asleep, I climbed up the inside of the villa and onto the roof, just to see where that sound was coming from. And that's when I saw her. Standing in the garden of the magistrate's villa, I just sat there on the roof, listening to her with my chin on my knees. And for the first time in a long time, I felt hopeful. And then she looked up and saw me, and she smiled. I knew at that moment the fates had brought me to her. And from the moment she asked my name with this warmth and curiosity, I knew I'd have done anything for her. And so for weeks on end, each night I'd climb out of the villa and into her father's garden. We'd hold hands and talk about all the things we'd do once we got out of here. Like having our own vineyard. And then one morning I woke up and everyone was out searching for her. They said she'd vanished in the night. All I could do was keep my head down and try to hide how beside myself I was.
Is it possible she escaped somehow? I think that's what happened.
All I know is she loved me. And if she had known a way out, She would have told me. She'd never have taken her own life. And there's no way anybody could have killed her under the Golden Rule. I can't prove it, but I just know she's still alive somehow. Even now, it's as if I can hear her voice in my head, crying out to me. That can only mean one thing. Somebody abducted her. I have no idea how, or who would want to do something like that to such a sweet, lovely girl. But what else could have happened?
Any ideas about who might have taken her? Somebody like, I don't think it was him.
My guess? Malleolus had something to do with it. He is without doubt the most evil man I have ever known. I have no idea where he'd be keeping her, but there is one room in his villa, upstairs, which is always locked. I've never seen the inside of it, and I haven't been able to steal a key without breaking the Golden Rule. But I have a feeling that if you could get in there somehow, it would shed light on a great many things.
I've already tried that. There's no sign of Scintilla there. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it was just Claudia, his wife.
Really? I was sure he was hiding something in there. I feel like I've looked everywhere. At least everywhere I could get to. There are still two places I've never been able to reach. First, the palace. If Navia managed to get in, then I suppose Scintilla could have too. The only other place she could be is somewhere in the cistern network. I remember hearing that Dooley had been poking around in the upper cistern before he was locked up. So you could ask him about it, I suppose.
Search the cisterns for signs of Scintilla, and I haven't completed that one yet. I'll get right on it, dude.
All right, friend. Thanks for the chat.
I want to talk to him one more
Shalom.
time. Shalom. Do you have any ideas about, or any more ideas about where Scintilla could be? I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but I found the pendant. Do you know a way out of here? Let's start with this.
I feel like I've looked everywhere. At least everywhere I could get to. There are still two places. First, the palace.
Oh, okay. He's just going to repeat that. I'll see what I can do. Let's tell him this.
Skeleton. You're saying she's... No. I don't believe that.
Fair enough. I mean, I can show you the pendant. I have it. But... Let's see if he'll talk to me still.
Shalom.
He will. Interesting. What do you think about the Golden Rule? Who are you gonna vote for?
Hilarious. He saved my life.
Hell yeah.
I have a feeling he can do a lot more if given the chance.
Fair enough.
All right, friend. Thanks for the chat.
How interesting. Okay, I should probably go find Galerius then. He's probably... We'll check his room first. Or the bar. Nowhere around there. He's not in his room. We're making quick work of it now. It's gotta be... Yeah, there he is. I saw him. Hi, buddy. What's going on?
Salve again, friend. I went and did...
Oh, I know. Reliving the day, the same day, yeah.
You're
No,
a-
not kidding. Got you.
Tantal... Oh,
Go on.
Anyway.
Oh, and I'm running for magistrate, feeling kind of nervous, but I'm hoping it'll all be worth it. When I order Dooley's release, I just hope all have the votes I need. I have a feeling you'll do great. Even if you don't win, the next election will be here before you know it.
Don't believe a word they tell you.
Who the hell just said that? I'm gonna do this one.
oh. That's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy.
It's saved.
I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Well, thanks. Who said don't believe a word they tell you? Hey, there's the goose. Honk! Oh my god, dude. He's got some massive finger flops. Look at those honkers, dude. Honk. Dude, I love it. That's so cool. Can I talk to you? Dude, that's a good looking in-game goat. He's got good eyes. Okay, see you later. Examine. Laid by the city's goose. I mean, it looks like it wants me to shoot it. Let's try it. And boink. Golden goose eggs! Goose eggs turn to gold. These look valuable. That's so funny. Dude, I knew that was gonna happen. What happens if I shoot you? No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to break the golden rule or anything. You know what I mean? Bunch of fruits. Can't take any fruits. I'm actually gonna go ask. I'm gonna go ask Equitia to start the election. I'm just gonna be like, yo, let's get it up. Let's get it going. Let's get it started. Because I think I should have enough votes now.
Citizen.
Hello. Equitia. Oh shit, dude. That was a huge jump. I was not meaning to do that. Oh, there you are. Hi, Missy.
A new face.
No. Status of the election.
It must be completed by dark. Why do
Can we start the election now? Wait. Who's allowed to
all
vote?
of the
I want to
male
see if I can
citizens
change
were
my vote.
willing and able to attend, unless they're running, of course.
Can I vote then?
Well, you're not a citizen yet, so no, I'm afraid not. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome.
I see, so I
of
don't
an
get a
election.
vote. Fair enough. Can we start the election now?
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk. But I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
Okay. Just want to get it over with and done. Holding it early may prevent conflict between the voters. Let's do that.
Yes, I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last thing we need here is additional conflict. Very well. I'll get things started right away.
Awesome. Get her done. You're just gonna have to run back down here if you run up there. Bye.
Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
Dude, how the hell can Galerius hear her all the way down there? That boy's hella in love. Oh. Where's she going? Oh, they're all going this way. For a second, I thought she was gonna go talk to Dooley or something. Yo, this one's robed. I don't think there's any other robed golden statues besides this guy. Hi. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, sick. What's up, dude? Dude, yes, let's go. Super curious to see how this goes. Where's Horatius? There's... God, stop it! I don't like that. What the hell? Let's hear it, miss. Let's get her started. I'm excited to see what happens. Oh, there's Horatius. Boy, it took forever. Can I talk to you? No.
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate.
It's part of the
The
ritual.
candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helver. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his
Sentius
candidacy earlier today. As
Galerius.
agreed, we shall dispense with
Sentius
ballots,
Galerius
and
Galerius
candidates will abstain
Galerius.
from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say,
Oh no,
your name,
Sentius.
call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius,
Ty.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius,
Sentius.
Virgil,
The man who put a stop to the threats I've been receiving. Galerius.
Never mind.
Rupius,
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius,
The man who treated
Yes.
anti-Semitism. Galerius.
I think Dooley's free.
you have made your decision. Your new
Yes.
magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helver.
What?
It has been decided. Magistrate,
What?
would you like to make a brief address?
Oh yeah.
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you've put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
Dude, he totally deserves it. Atta boy. Alright, let's follow Horatius, because he's going to release Dooley. Good thing we're right here, too. I like seeing the arms just go. "Buh, buh." Yes. Give me that
Forces
plaque.
smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your release.
You're going to let me out of here?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius.
Oh,
So happy.
I'm so
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georgius I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Good job, buddy. I'm taking that plaque. Give it to me. Let's go. We got all 4 plaques, folks. I need to cross it off the list. Seems to me like we're about to confront the god of the underworld. Hey, Dooley, can I have your treasure, though?
Hello? I'm Dooley. Magistrate Galerius said I should thank the newcomer. Are you the newcomer?
Yes, that's me.
Oh, it is you. Then, thank you. You're a big helper. I was locked up, but they let me out again. I'm so happy.
You're welcome.
You can have my shiny plaque if you want, and maybe you can help me find my treasure. My friend Hannibal used to look after me, and he said he always would. But then
Oh,
he
we
died,
heard him
but
say this before.
He gave me a key to the cisterns and told me to keep it safe. He said there's something very precious way up high. Please help me find it. Please. I had to keep it a secret until I found someone I could trust.
I'll help him, obviously.
Here's the key.
Topher. Thank you.
Hope you find it. In the cisterns, way up high. Hannibal said. Oh, look.
Unlock
over
the upper
there.
cistern with Dooley's key.
Something shiny. Is it treasure?
Bye, buddy.
It is treasure.
See you later. You'll love the bathhouse. It's very gold.
So
It's given me a spot to do it, man. Oh my god. I can't believe this. I'm so intrigued by this game. I wonder how many hours I've put in. Oh. What?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Dooley stole. Dooley. God damn it. That's okay, I got the plaque though, that's all I needed. Oh no. Dude, that's terrible. Galerius got elected magistrate and was able to stay magistrate for a total of 3 minutes. Dude, and he totally deserved it. See you later, Sentius. He's just like, I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Psych. Ooga booga. And now we restart. Oh, you frickin' goober, you. Sorry, dude, I'm busy.
All right then.
Aw. Poor Galerius, I feel so bad. I feel like I just totally used him.
You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue.
Oh, what are you doing around here?
And salutations.
Okay, so
On your best behavior.
I can't help but want to go to the upper cisterns first.
Hey, you're not
No,
thinking about
dude.
going into the cistern, are you?
It's all good. We're fine. No about your creature, don't worry.
It's your...
We're all good, Mr. Domitius. I got it covered, my boy. About to turn her to gold. Boom. What's up, fool? Boom. Right in the heart. Twice. God, look at his face. Hiya! Okay, so we are looking for the upper cistern. There's got to be some sort of staircase or something. Okay, this is where that creature was, an emaciated human-like creature. Very cool. Take the coin pouch, I'll take the arrows. Can't ever have enough of those. Nothing in there necessarily worthwhile. It's just a crosswalk. Nothing back here, really. Ah! Oh, man. That looks like Yulia as well. You guys reusing character designs? Oh, there's the stairs. Oh, no, wait. This just leads back up to the cistern door. I'm going to search for the cistern for a little bit. I can't forgive myself for going to confront what I think is going to happen, and I think that we're going to run into the fucking god of the underworld. So, I'm going to look around for the cistern for a little bit. Give me a bit of time. Okay, so I had a thought. I've been searching around for about 10-15 minutes now, just aimlessly. I'm pretty sure I've searched everywhere, but I don't think I've gone back up to where that man with the boulder is and gone to that back-ish path. Or just like that palace up there. There's 2 locked doors that I haven't been in at all. So, if the upper cistern is around the other thing, I mean, that's great. That's friggin' great. I wonder if I have those plaques still or not. I'm gonna go check that first, just because that would really suck. Oh, thank God, they're all still in there.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia.
Oh, no.
Welcome.
I'm fine, thanks.
Ah, another stop. We've all... I used to lay... I still...
I'll be going.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting...
I can't believe this is...
Ah, dang it.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there.
We're gonna skip past all of it. I'm very, very sorry, but good luck with that. I'm out of here.
Your life's in danger just as much as mine. Are you really just going to walk away and leave me with this?
Bye-bye.
I see. Well, if we survive, I'll remember this.
I am out. Wherever you are.
Oh my God. I hate to laugh at suicide, and I do apologize, because it's not anything to laugh at, and Only reason I do is because I have my own problems with
Can't
this.
believe he went through with it.
I'm gonna mess up this whole entire one completely, and then once I find the upper cisterns, maybe I'll figure out something else to the point where I have to restart. I'm sorry, Miss Octavia, but I didn't want to talk to you in the first place. Dude, this guy's got the hops of a freaking professional basketball player. It's amazing. Unlock. Boink. I should have saved. Okay, we unlocked that. Now, little quick save action. Dude, are you kidding me? What the hell? Okay, so that's openable. Dude, holy shit. Okay, I'll get to you. I'm very, very sorry. What if I just encased her in gold? Oh, dang, dude. This is that shaft that was down there that I kept looking up. Seeing if there was a ladder or anything. Doesn't seem like there's anything besides poor Miss Ma'am. So I'll talk to her. What's wrong, dude?
You. Who are you? Did he send you?
I'm Fingerflops. Nobody sent me.
Do you know you're here? You have to help me escape before that monster comes back.
What's going on here?
I'm Scintilla.
Oh!
I found a way out through the Gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he locked me up. He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key.
Who did this to you? How hasn't this broken the golden rule? Where's the way out? I'm gonna start with the middle one.
I don't know. He said the gods are on his side because they don't want us to escape either.
Who did this to you?
Sentius.
Damn it, I knew he was bad.
Furies help me. I'll castrate and crucify him.
Where's the way out?
Behind me. There's an aqueduct tunnel bringing water from outside the city.
Okay.
So it should lead us outside.
I was right about that too.
The only problem is it's barred by a heavy locked gate, and he has the only key.
So Sentius has the key. What will you do if I release you?
I'm going to take that key from around his neck, even if it means cutting his throat to get it. I'm done caring about the golden rule. I just want out. Help me.
Excuse me.
And we can escape together.
What about the others?
There won't be enough time. Just you and me. What do you say?
I'm sorry, but if I let you go, everyone else is going to die. If I round everyone up so they're ready to escape once the golden rule is broken, or what if I do that? I'm letting you go, let's get out of here together. It seems like I have a choice to end the game right now. And I did save just before this, so I probably could do this with no repercussions. Screw it, let's see what happens if I just leave.
Oh, thank you. Now follow. Wait. Did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me.
What?
You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
Okay. Oh, God.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
As if I tell you. You're human garbage, you know that? Let's go with that one.
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. It's a shame, really. If you'd just done what you were supposed to, you'd have been looping through time forever until you gave up and killed yourself. Just like that soft-hearted pleb, Al.
Dang, dude, this fool's corrupt. You remember Al?
Come now. Surely you didn't think you were the only one here who remembered everything.
Olivia,
See,
obviously.
My connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories from one room to the next. Whether that was Proserpina's intention or a happy accident, I'll never know. But I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. Here I was thinking you were a little bit sharper than Al was. Or perhaps you're just more willing to break the rules. He was a moralistic fellow, never once compromised on his principles. And because of that fatal flaw, he relived this day many thousands of times before we finally had this conversation. I watched him come through the portal each time, always a little older, a little more disheveled, a little more haunted. And when he finally saw the futility of it all, as you're about to, it broke him. He drank a jug of wine, tied a noose around his neck, and took his own life, just before he was shot with a golden arrow. The next time I awoke, you showed up, but you've caught up to where he was so quickly. I'd have preferred if you'd given me more time to enjoy the trappings of my success. How many extra days did you give me? Just the 6? Not a lot compared with Al, but I've seized every day, nonetheless. In any case, there's no escape for you except the path that Al took, the path he wrote about on his tablet. What was it? Ah, yes. Better to end it all now than find out what awaits you beyond that portal. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
Okay, I forgot that Yulia was going to show up. That jump scared me a little bit. So you asked me to figure out who was going to break the golden rule, knowing I would fail every time. You knew there was a way out and even locked up your own daughter to keep it a secret. Why? You're going to die a painful death for this. We'll get there. Let's ask him this.
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached to all this. My title, my beautiful villa, the sun on my face, the music of birds chirping. And as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I get to enjoy it all.
I said that earlier too.
Over again. For eternity. Don't you see? I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely. To cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself?
Yes, I can say that I would honestly not wish that for myself. So you asked me to figure out who was going to break the golden rule, knowing I was going to fail every time.
Of course. There's no way you could have succeeded. Every soul who has ever found themselves here has broken the golden rule eventually. It is inevitable. Man will always sin sooner or later. Any idiot could tell you this. But where others might see tragedy, I saw opportunity. As I told you the first time we met, I found a way to cheat death. By reliving the same day over and over again forever. And I will continue living long after your dust.
You're gonna die a painful death for this.
Do you really think you could take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bird?
Probably could, but I'm gonna let her have this one.
Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
Oh, shit.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
What the hell? Did I just end the game? Figure out how to return to your original time.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Al Worth? I came in here to find you.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm Fingerflops. I'm Fingerflops. I was hoping you'd know who I am. No.
Really? That's strange. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kind of rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the shrine of Proserpina. Freed an imprisoned woman named Santilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city and turning them into gold. Apparently, the only person to survive was Santilla, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
Yeah, that's me.
What? You're saying you were here 2,000 years ago? I'm not sure I understand.
When I first arrived here in the present day, I found your corpse hanging from a noose.
I'm sorry, come again?
I still have the suicide note you carved into this tablet. Here.
Let me see that. God, why does this writing look so familiar?
Because it's yours.
Spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles. This is disturbing. But I don't understand how I could have written it.
It was written by a different version of you. I changed the past and your fate.
I'm not following.
I helped Santilla kill the man who opened a time portal and drew you back in time, preventing it from ever happening.
So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this.
Now you're getting it.
I guess you saved my life then, as well as helping that poor woman to escape. That's a lot to take in.
Enough talk. How about we get out of this place?
Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct Santilla used, if we can find it.
It's right here in this cistern. Follow me. Dude, what the hell? Why can't we just exit the same way that you came in? So we're still in the cistern, but in present day. Is there anything new? Nothing where she was chained. Nothing, can't get back there. Not sure why. Yeah, it should just be right over here. The door's open. Oh my god, man. I actually got to leave. But with that, I don't know that I want to see the complete end yet, you guys. I don't. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to load a game. I'm going to load from the cisterns. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But I mean, that's a good ending and all. But, I'd rather see what happens when when I go confront the god. I don't know why I laughed at her, but anyways, let's go slap this final tablet in there. Dang, dude, now we can hear her all the way from the other place. Turn all 4 plaques. Oh, lordy. I knew that was the key. What the hell? Okay, I'm gonna drop another save. Oh, man. Speak his name. Who? Great Temple Door. Hades, Lord of Many, grant me an audience. Nergal, the Fierce One, grant me an audience. Osiris, Pluto. It's Pluto. I guess that worked. Maybe every single one of them would have worked because it's all the same shit. And I think that that was one of the main lessons of this game, to be honest. Okay. Oh, it's for the area that you're in. I totally guessed those first two right by accident, but now we're in the Egyptian area. God, how neat. This one's gotta be, Nurgle. Sorry. Sorry. That was the one I was gonna go with originally. Dang it. Should've just trusted my gut. Not much further. I know! Sound like a woman though. Oh, but you're both guys, so it don't matter. I think the only one I haven't done is Hades. Which looks like it might be his real name. Oh, it's that one. Oh! That was awfully... What is happening? We meet at last. Is that Charon? Who the hell is that? Proserpina? Who the hell are you?
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You are unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
Well, I can appreciate that. What's your story?
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
Okay. You're a god? I think that's pretty obvious, but I'll ask it because it's on the list.
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by the immortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful, just as you might seem so to an insect. But despite all that, there are rules even I must obey.
Okay. So he's not the end-all, be-all. Once again, proves my point that shit is not fathomable for humans. Stop trying to fathom religion. It is impossible. Why do you look and sound like a man?
My kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords. Desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive.
May I see your true form? Who is the woman on your left? Let's ask that first.
This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians.
I said it was Serpina, or Proserpina.
Persephone to the Greeks. And
Same
Persephone
bitch.
to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal.
Yo, what?
Your gaze lingers too long.
Okay, my bad. Sorry, dude. Who's that on your right? It's Charon.
That is my servant.
It's gotta be.
You would have met by the river.
Whoa!
Though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutabal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions.
Dude. True form.
No. Long ago, I swore to Persephone that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that.
Okay. Talk about something else.
As you wish.
What is this
It
place?
has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago.
What was the wager you made?
That is a long story, one that began over 3,000 years ago and continues to this day. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet Proserpina saw raw potential in you, and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture, toolcraft, and law, and you called us gods. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to leave her behind, she made an extraordinary sacrifice. She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation in a deep frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a single year, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you, without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting.
Fuck the human race. We're all a disease. And I bet you something like that out there, if the gods were fathomable, something like that that's fair and just would be totally and completely applicable. Humans are incapable of living a life without sin. Let's continue. Who are your kin?
There were also gods who, like me, have been known by many names, but perhaps you knew them by their Roman names. Our leader, Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved Proserpina.
Who built the city?
As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable and recreate their lives here. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten.
How did you decide who comes here?
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time, across all of Sumer. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's obol, or as coins for the ferryman. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for, only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind would have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Proserpines along with it.
Dang. How did humans learn about the underworld?
It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king of Sumer and a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories of this place as if describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and his words were twisted and distorted over generations. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place, though each story contained only a seed of truth.
Talk about something else.
Of course.
Are you responsible for the Golden Rule?
That is merely the name your people have given to it, but yes, it is my doing.
Why turn people to gold?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold. And when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching, pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, the silent golden sentinels.
Dude, that's brutal, but so creative at the same time. So you're responsible for destroying all these lives.
I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as
I agree with him.
About my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it.
Where did these golden bows come from?
When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. A consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies.
That's hard. What do you consider a sin? That's what I've been wondering.
I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with do to the doer to make him do. The Greeks refined it with avoid doing what you would blame others for doing. The Roman Stoics added, treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
Nope, don't agree with the first one. It doesn't seem like you've been upholding it either. Yeah.
Enough. You clearly know nothing.
How do you know when people sin?
I'm able to commune with all the statues in the city. Their ears are my ears, and their eyes are my eyes.
Is Proserpina connected to the statues in the same way?
If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not. Why do you ask?
No reason.
Then what an odd question.
Agreed. Shouldn't have asked that. I've seen some terrible things here that you didn't consider a sin. How could you let them happen?
Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations? Or are you going to give me an example?
Suicide, debt bondage, experiments on golden statues. Let's go with the suicide. That one's the main one.
Ah, yes. The debt bondsman. Taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is not one that is done to others, however they may be affected by it.
Agreed.
Therefore, it cannot be said that one who commits suicide has done anything unto others.
Interesting. Very good point. Seems like an extremely literal interpretation of the rule. I disagree with that. No, fair enough.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Debt bondage.
You speak of the moneylender. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
He wouldn't want to be trapped in a 30-year labor contract because of a loan.
And he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. All he did was enforce the terms of a contract signed voluntarily by others.
The whole concept of a debt bondage, like slavery, is unethical. It's illegal under international law where I'm from.
Ignoring your irritating sense of moral superiority, this is interesting. I'm curious, how do people escape poverty?
It's customary to take out a loan to buy a house, and in some places to pay for an education.
I see. And how long might it take such a person to repay their debt?
It depends. Typically decades, sometimes their entire life.
I fail to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years.
Failed to see how your system of loans is significantly different to a debt bondsman signing over his labor for 30 years. I think it's fair enough.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Experiments on the golden statues.
The midwife in the palace, yes. How is that inconsistent with the rule?
She wouldn't want to be experimented upon if she was gilded.
The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless shadows, mere shapes of their former selves. They are forsaken. What happens to them is no concern of mine.
Okay. Seems like an extremely literal. Now I see.
Now tell me, what other sins do you believe I have overlooked?
Nah, dude, you're chilling. You're a pretty logical guy.
Very well.
Well, let's talk about something else.
Very well.
That's all the questions I had.
Good. Then now it is time for your reckoning.
Oh?
Only, it seems, something is wrong. It has long been within my power to see to the hearts of mortals and weigh their deeds in life. But when I peer into you, I see only a blank slate, as if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. How is this possible? Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you come here?
I'm from the future. Maybe you're getting forgetful in your old age. Let's go with the nicer one.
If that is true, then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
We cannot know.
I was hoping you could tell me. I mean, yeah, I have no idea.
I do not know. My kin departed long ago, and Proserpina has slumbered for 3,000 years.
Shouldn't you know this as the god of the underworld? I guess that means you don't know everything that goes on here. I'm gonna go with the bottom one.
Tread lightly, mortal.
Sorry, buddy.
Enough of this. It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold for now. But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you seek?
I'd like you to put an end to the golden rule. I just want to get out of here. I'm here to kill you, draw the golden bow, or I'm here to kill you, draw the wooden bow. What the heck? You know what? I'm really curious about this. I'm here to kill you, draw a wooden bow. I'm gonna do that one.
with that primitive weapon?
What the hell? Did I pick the right one? Let's find out, shall we? You may be immortal, but your beloved isn't. Let's do the top one.
Pathetic. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Oh. Oh, I got it. I'm out of here. Oh. Oh my god. Ow. Ugh. Enas. Don't hurt me. Oh. Gotta load. Ah! Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh my god, I thought I was dead. Oh wait, I want to go the other way. Oh, jeez, dude. Oh! Man, we're getting to the nitty-gritty now. What the heck? Maybe either one would have worked. I'm not sure. Ah! Oh. Get hurdled. I love that you can only see their color. Oh. And everything else is just black and white. I'm outie. Outie 5000. Okay, I got Proserpina's crown. What does that mean? Follow Sentius back to the shrine, use portal again, okay. But what do I do with the crown? So I'm pretty confused. I've been running around for a little while now, wondering what to do with the crown. It looks like the tower is still lit. I may try a different dialogue pathway with the god and see if I can't get anywhere with him. There's Ulpius. Glad you're okay. Because if I don't know, I just can't help but feel like I did something wrong, but I also got the crown, so it must have been successful in some way. Unlock it up. This one was Pluto. I guess it's gonna tell me which one I picked now, which is cool. I mean, it is what it is. Makes it easy for me. Yeah. That's such a cool door. This one. Cool. Dude, that is so crazy. Like, what the hell? Okay.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Yeah, and we've heard all of your baloney. See this? It's Proserpina's crown. That's new. Let's toss it.
I would recognize that anywhere. And yet my beloved still wears hers. What is this? How did you come by it?
I took it from her after I killed her in another timeline.
You vile, despicable creature. Why would you do such a thing? And worse still, boast about it.
I didn't want to kill her, but if you don't put an end to the golden rule, I'll do it again. I could do this all day and the golden rule, or I will. We're gonna go with this one, man. He's a god.
You.
Or whatever.
You have put me in an impossible position. If I refuse, you will murder her. And yet, if I agree, I will lose my wager and return to Elysium humiliated and alone.
That's the idea, or well, what's it gonna be? This one.
I do not see that I have a choice in this. Your treachery
I'm a
and
winner.
savagery have opened my eyes like nothing I have witnessed in 3,000 years. And now you have shown me your species' true colors. And I see that Persephone was a fool to have ever believed in you at all. This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this. If I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
We just want to return to the world. Why can't we go to Elysium? No, I don't think we deserve to go to Elysium.
Very well. I will have Carol make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
Why?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready?
I'm ready. Always been ready. Still ready.
You would best pray our paths never cross again, mortal.
Cool. I'm being sent backwards. Did I do it? Oh my god. Hi. You gonna say hi? Hi. There, now you guys can see what I look at all the time. My sweetie. You see yourself? Yes. That's my lovely lady. Anyways, let's get to this ending finally. Oh my goodness, that was the ending I really wanted. But we'll see how this one goes. Holy cow, this is where that, this is where the podium was.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Al Worth, I came in here to find you.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm Fingerflops.
Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time.
Hey.
Learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who'd lived here before them. Then, one day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, like saving the life of a dying woman, foiling an assassination attempt, and so on. Meanwhile, the oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to him. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
Sounds a bit far-fetched. These Romans are crazy. I don't want them to know it was me.
I don't know, it reads like an earnest account to me. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
Right behind you. And now we can finish it for real. Enjoy the beautiful scenery.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good idea.
You go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
We'll hint it was us. See if we can find anything in the background or anything like that. Doesn't seem we can go back there. I just want to go swimming. Watch me swim. We'll walk it back. I'm loving the way this looks. It kind of reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus. Can't inspect it. That looks like Charon again.
You're back.
Knew it.
But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
I found him. He'll be here in a moment.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
I discovered you're not who you said you were. I remembered meeting you 2,000 years ago. I discovered the ruins of an ancient underground city. This chick already knows.
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions.
Who are you really?
You can just call me Charon, if you like.
We knew it.
I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time.
What truth is that?
That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead.
How did I die?
Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma. Most souls would rather not remember. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know?
Well, yeah. I think I
As you
do.
wish. You were murdered. You were falsely accused of a terrible crime, and fled into the wild to evade your accusers. On your final night, you were offered sanctuary in the cottage of a stranger who gave you food and money, including, by accident, a coin of ancient origin. Unfortunately, you were apprehended and attacked by authorities. Your host leapt to your aid. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have done. He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name was Al Worth.
Wow.
You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Charon's Opal by some, and so it was my duty to bring you here.
Pluto said the coins Al and I had were the last in existence. What does that mean for you?
It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course.
What's so special about these coins? Can you return us to the land of the living? Start with that one.
Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin in their mouths to pay the ferryman for passage across the river. Well, Those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver
We had heard
coins.
this piece already, actually. Yes, Pluto mentioned that my coin was the last in existence. What does that mean for
It
you?
means that
Okay, cool. So they give us the same
I
answers.
see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long
That's why
forgotten
his shirt
city.
is all beat up.
And there
I
a
was
tablet
wondering that
describing
too.
an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Sounds like quite a story. And I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
All right, Karen. Ferry is home. Oh, 1 year later. Wow. Is this a museum? I mean, obviously it looks like one. I'm gonna look at all of this in depth. Museums are one of my favorite things in the world. So I'm gonna walk through this like an actual museum.
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read about your trial in the news. Congratulations on your acquittal. Still, I'm sorry you had to go through all that. Anyway, after everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius's tablet. And I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you, I just really wanted you to see this for yourself. Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
Okay. Who are all these people? I'm guessing just random people.
You're finally here. Remember me?
Galerius.
It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Karen appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life.
What are you doing with yourself these days? You're with Equitia now, excuse me. It was good to see you again. No, we're not ending it that fast.
I used Karen's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course.
Ah.
It's hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
Wow.
I know. I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're going to be around, we'd love to see you there.
Dude, I'd love that. Count me in. See you, buddy.
Of course. There's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you. So you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
Oh my god.
Oh, hello.
There's Dooley.
You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you. Galerius told me all about you.
Good to see you, Equitia.
So, you're the hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable.
She was also under a vow of chastity. I rid her of her virginity as well. Can you be that mad at me? What are you doing with yourself?
Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family, and Dooley too, of course. It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us. For all of us.
How's Livia?
Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself.
I'll do that. Good to see you.
See you at the wedding, I hope.
See you later. George. Oh no, that's Dooley. I thought it was Georgius, but it's just Dooley. What's up, buddy?
There he is.
Hello, I'm Dooley.
I remember who you are.
Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. Thank you for getting us out of the bad place. I didn't like it.
What are you doing with yourself?
I live at Galerius and Equitia's house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget things, like brushing my teeth.
Oh, good to see you.
Bye.
What a cutie pie. Yulia.
You're the Oracle, right?
Fingerflops is
sorry.
fine.
And I never got a chance to thank you for telling Galerius how to save my life. And of course, getting me and all of us out of a terrible situation.
What are you doing with yourself?
Oh, I barely recognize myself. I'm living in a
Me
house
too.
share in London with my wonderful girlfriend.
Knew
I'm
it.
studying English at university. Eventually, I want to travel the world and write about it. Turns out, it's about 30 times bigger than the Roman Empire ever was. Did you know there are entire continents Rome never knew existed? And you can travel almost anywhere in an aircraft, which is rather like flying on a Pegasus, but much more comfortable.
Indeed.
Oh, sorry, you already know all that, of course. I'm just so excited. There's so much to see and learn and write about.
Seeing the world through fresh eyes sounds wonderful.
I have noticed people from your time have no idea how fortunate they are. I hope to change that. One day.
Good luck. Whatever happened to Malleolus and Claudia?
Last I heard, Malleolus kept insisting he was the last rightful ruler of the Roman Empire, and wound up being committed to a psychiatric hospital. As for Claudia, she was always so viciously unhappy. Someone said she'd blown all her money on wine, trying to drink herself back to the underworld.
Wow.
After the horrific way they treated Ulpius and me, I can't help feeling a sense of... what's that German word? Schadenfreude?
I think you're allowed to feel that way. Sounds like they got what was coming to them. And as brutal as it is, you know, not what this is, but how they are living, I mean, they are getting what's coming to them. With that, I mean,
couldn't
holy
agree
cow.
more.
Whatever happened to Aurelia?
Someone told me she was boasting about getting her claws into some rich prince, and how she was going to be living the high life from now on. Even in your time, life still isn't fair. Apparently, he'd proposed before they'd even met. And last I heard, she'd bought herself a first-class one-way ticket to join him in some exotic place called... what was it? Nigeria? Some people have all the luck.
It's true. Don't worry, something tells me she's going to get what she deserves.
Well, you are the Oracle, so I suppose I'll take your word for it. Huh. I feel better already. Thank you.
Sure. It's good to see you again.
You too. If you're ever in London, let me know. We can go to bars and drink wine and listen to the stories of the 9 million people who live there.
I'll take you up on that.
I hope so.
Hi there.
What's up, Lucretia? How you
You're
doing?
here. It's nice to finally meet you.
Oh, I thought I had met her one last time before I left.
Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as you can see.
Smart.
We are all trying to keep a low profile. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life 12 months ago, they'd never leave us alone. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I hear you drove the last of them off. So...
I only drove off one. What are you doing with yourself?
I'm studying to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world, if begrudgingly, one patient at a time.
There's a lot more patients to save here. It was good to see you.
You too. Don't be a stranger.
Okay. Who's that? Horatius! Oh!
Hi there, I'm Horatius.
I know!
I understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life. And reuniting Scintilla with us as well. So, thank you.
I can see what you're doing with
No,
yourself.
I'm studying in the military academy in Modena. I'm going to be an officer one day. The world's changed a lot. But some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alexander the Great, Caesar, Hannibal Barca. Still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of old ways of thinking and embrace the new. As Seneca wrote, the ones who pioneered our paths aren't our masters, but our guides.
That's a good quote. Sorry you never got to see your girl again.
Ah, you remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, as those who rode behind triumphant generals remind them they are mortal, remind yourself your precious one isn't one of your possessions, but something given for now, not forever.
Well said.
Thanks.
Whatever happened to your buddy Domitius?
He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC. So he started some kind of underground blood sport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts. And they say he made some good coin, killing a bunch of men like that. But his luck finally ran out. And his life along with it. You know what they say. Live by the sword, die by the sword.
That's a shame. I always thought he was funny.
Perhaps.
I'll never forget that. It was good to see you again, Horatius. Is that Lucretia? No.
And you. Farewell.
It's Sentia back there, I bet.
Hey,
Know it.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming.
Good to see you again.
Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius after what happened.
I do not blame
I'm
you.
not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple. She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern all that time. But he's been dealt with. He's... you know what? The important thing is, we'll never see him again.
He's been burned alive. What are you doing with yourself?
Anything I want. I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever and do whatever I please. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just awful out there. Barbarians everywhere.
Indeed. What happened to Sentius?
He's still there, all alone. The last golden statue in the underworld. Trapped in a metal shell, slowly losing his mind until the end of time. Eternal torment. Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
Good. It was good to see you again.
You too. See you around.
Man, this is so crazy. Let's look at the things that he was looking at. Oh, there's your backpack. Roman shield, a type of ancient Roman shield known as a scutum.
Hey.
Cavalry helm, an ancient Roman cavalry helmet with an enclosed face mask. We've seen that before. Let's keep moving. Who are you? Oh, what the hell?
Greetings.
Bathtub? Let's go. A large tub, which can be converted into a rather eccentric bed. What do you mean? How are you supposed to sleep on that?
I take it you're the oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
We've met before, though I wouldn't expect you to remember it.
We have. I'm sorry, I don't remember. In any case, I'm Philip. I never thought I'd leave that cave, let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What a time to be alive. And it seems I have your catabasis to thank for it.
What are you doing with yourself?
I'm working as a consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University.
Damn.
Helping fill the odd gap in their knowledge. Not that I need the money, but I do love being around enlightened minds again.
It was good to see you again. Holy cow.
My sincere thanks once again.
That's unbelievable. There's Georgius.
Greetings. You must be the legendary Oracle. It is
Oracle.
a sincere privilege to finally make your acquaintance. I am Georgius.
Good to see you, buddy.
I am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades, and for that, I am most grateful.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I am reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling. Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the underworld and won.
Consider me there. Good to see you, buddy.
You too, my friend.
Hello.
What's up, Fabio?
You're the one we've been waiting for. I'm Fabia.
Hello.
I wanted to say thanks for sending Galerius to save my life. I don't know how you knew, but I would have been crushed by that shrine for sure.
You're welcome.
I'm just so happy to be here with you and everyone together again, even if it's just for one more night.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
Well, it's not like I have to work with all the silver Charon gave me, so I just do what makes me happy. Mostly that means baking for my friends and looking at memes while binging TV shows in yoga pants. What a time to be alive.
I'm glad you're happy.
Thank you. I really am.
Aw, what a sweetheart.
You too.
She reminds me of somebody specific, but I can't put my hand or my finger on it.
Ain't it?
God. I'm tempted not to even talk to this guy, but I will. Only because he looks like me.
You must be the Oracle I've heard so much about. I'm Dacius.
What's up?
Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics I accumulated. Whatever you did in that temple made me a very wealthy man. Thank you.
You're welcome. You don't deserve it. Unintended,
Such
Bubba.
acerbic wit. I love it.
What are you doing?
I took the money I made from selling my trinkets and started investing in the stock market. That's where the real money is now. In fact, I was hoping to ask your advice, you being the Oracle and Future Seer and all that, on which stocks I should invest in next. I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling and arms. What would you recommend?
Fossil fuels, but I am not gonna help you.
Oh, don't be like that. You can tell your old pal Dacius. I won't take no for an answer.
DVD rentals have a bright future. Broadcast television is going to be the next big thing. Print media is going to make a huge comeback.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing. I'll go home and buy up as much stock as I can tonight. I'm gonna make a bloody fortune.
I don't like the way you're laughing at me, dude.
Of course, don't let me keep you. Thanks again for the tips, my friend.
Sure. Have fun with that. Dang, there's Livia.
Good evening.
Octavia. We didn't have a great encounter last time.
Oh, hello. It's lovely to meet you. I've heard so much about you.
Nice to see you too.
I'm thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who drove off the last pagan god would have more important things to do than visit the likes of us. But thank you for coming and for saving our lives. What you did was extraordinary, and I'll never forget it.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber. Not far from my old place. Oh, and I'm training to be a crisis counselor. After you sent Galerius to persuade Ulpius not to take his own life, I was inspired. I just want to spend the rest of my life helping people, like you helped him.
Sounds like a noble cause. Good on you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
It was good to see you, Octavia.
And you. Oh, and I hope this isn't too forward, but some of us are going out for a drink after this, if you'd like to join us.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. I'll see you soon.
Do at it. Resume. And Livia. What's going on with
Greetings.
you, Chica? Good to see you. Looking well, Livia.
Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all. In all the time I was in the underworld, I never once imagined that I might end up in a place so much like Elysium.
What are you doing with yourself these days? This is also nowhere close to Elysium, miss. When you realize what this world is and what this era is, you're going to be overly sickened and struck back to your insane place that you were.
I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough to let me stay with her for a while. At least until I'm well enough to be independent again.
Read any good poems lately?
Ah, you remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of poetry to catch up on now. I'm already up to the 19th century, and am quite enjoying the work of a fellow named Poe. I think I may have found a kindred spirit. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence.
Well said. I completely agree. It was good to see you again, Livia.
And you. Farewell, friend.
Wow. Greek lion statue. A Greek statue of a lion, wow. Holy my goodness, there's so many people. There's Anubis. Archaeologist's insight, an ancient statue of Anubis, the ancient Egyptian god of mummification and embalming, among other things. What is that? Cool looking is what it is. Oh, what's up, dude?
It is an honor to finally meet you, Oracle.
Thanks, Kabosh.
You know my name? Oh, of course. You are an Oracle. You know many things. I too would like to offer my thanks for releasing us from that place, and for your role in bringing us here. This world is truly wondrous.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
For a time, I returned to Alexandria, but they have no need of another fisherman, and I came to see there is nothing for me there. Instead, I have decided to follow the custom of your youths and backpack the world. It is a great adventure, and I have met many people from many cultures. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Now, I think it is time I had some fun.
Sounds like you've earned it.
Indeed.
It was good to see you, Bubba.
Thank you, Orca.
I love his jacket, by the way. That is one of the sickest jackets I've seen in a while, and it's all because he's got this hide shoulder piece, and it's all just fucking dirty-ass denim, handmade type crap.
What is up?
What is up?
Hello there.
Hi.
You must be Scintilla?
Oh, I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name.
Yeah. Which monster?
You didn't hear. My adoptive father, Sentius, locked me up in the upper cistern to stop me from escaping. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that monster got what was coming to him.
Sorry, I had no idea. I did have an idea, but... What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm living with Ulpius on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's even more wonderful than I dreamed it would be. I'm so grateful to you for making sure he's still with us. If you're ever passing through the region, I hope you'll come and visit us. You can try some of our very own wine.
I must just do that. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Yo, what's going on, pimp?
It's nice to finally put a face to the name. I'm Ulpius.
Good to see you too.
I understand I have you to thank for sending Galerius to save my life. The way you just showed up out of the blue and stopped me from making a terrible mistake. I'll be forever in your debt.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
I'm living with Gabriella in Umbria. We finally bought the little vineyard we always dreamed of. It'll be a little while before we know what we're doing, but every day I look at her and this extraordinary new world with all its beauty, and I think, what if I'd given up hope? And missed out on all of this. So we're living each day to the fullest. And we end them all the same way. Sitting together on our terrace with a glass of our wine, which the locals say is almost drinkable now, and watching the sunset over the rolling hillside. And I couldn't be happier.
I'm glad you're happy.
Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you.
It was good to see you, buddy.
You too.
Is that Al again? Dude, what a massive... Dude, this... Whoa! And it's all nighttime. Like they rented this place out just for us. Greek plaque. Hades, Lord of Many. The Lyre. Good old-fashioned vase. Lion. And this must be, wow, dude, can you imagine seeing this in a museum? They transported a full intact temple or rebuilt a replica temple. I would be enthralled by that. Let's see. Latin plaque. A Latin plaque which reads, all must walk this path to where the laws of day help the virtuous to paradise in this city beneath the earth. The ravenous hunger of the avaricious is sated at the banks of the stream, but in vain, for none from here may return. The dice tower. Fish sauce. Fish. Carving. Lady. Oh, wow. I love Egyptian architecture. I think it's so beautiful. What's this? The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. Alright. Hear a bunch of voices.
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that.
Oh, I did.
Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
Sorry if I frightened you.
Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time.
I recognize that
Allow me to
voice.
introduce myself properly. I am Proserpina, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people, and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention.
You were whispering to me all along. Let's ask them all.
Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows in which I could speak to you without being detected.
You did what you could. Thank you. You created the time loop?
I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath.
What became of Pluto?
I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way.
What became of Karen? Or Charon? I'm not sure which one it is.
Oh, she inherited
I think it's
dominion over the
Charon.
underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again. I imagine we all will, one day.
It was nice meeting you. That's crazy.
And you, although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city?
Of course.
Good, because they remember you. Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes
Oh
who
my
ever turned
goodness.
to the underworld in return, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
Wow. What an ending. That's the all the way through to the end ending. And I got 2 out of those 4. If you guys are curious about those other 2, I urge you to look them up. Wow. But I'm so pleased with that one. And I'm sure you would have gotten the museum ending either way. Oh my goodness. I just want to use this credits time as well to say this is the single best video game I've played in my whole entire life. And I don't use any of the entire life phrase or best lightly by any means. So good on you guys. Thank you for not only an enlightening experience, but an educational one, an absolutely and completely and totally entertaining one, a detailed one. I mean, detailed in every way. You guys absolutely nailed this. The voice actors were amazing. Thank you for crisp audio. Thank you for having, or just being born with good voices. You've graced my ears. But I also, if you guys want to play this game for yourself, please do, because playing it is a whole nother experience. And there's probably some things I missed. Man, I'm absolutely and totally blown away. Thank you guys so much for watching. But a message from the developers. Let's read this. We hope you enjoyed The Forgotten City. We'd love to make even better games in the future, and you can help out by recommending The Forgotten City to a friend or writing a review. The more people play our games, the more we can level up. And if you'd like to be the first to know when we announce our next project, please connect with us here. I will do my absolute best to link their Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everything, because I want more games out of these guys. I want more games like this. I know that they have a decent selection. I want more games like this because I am still baffled. I'm going to be thinking about it for a while. Please support these developers. All right, you guys. Thank you for an amazing experience. and I will see you for the next series on The Flip.